Hello everyone, my name is Prot, also known as Prot. Today is Saturday, the 29th of March, 2025. Local time is 5 p.m. and I am off on one of my long walks together with my two dogs, Atlas and Raizu. While I am walking, I want to talk to you about a topic which applies to everyday life. A topic that we can consider from a philosophical standpoint, and that is performance. Performing at a high standard, being very good at something, being elite at something, or anyhow being the best you can be at a given task. There is this expression that has been addressed towards me several times in slightly different variations, but the gist is as follows. Hey Prot, you are so smart. You should be doing stuff. You are smart, you are capable, and thus, the thinking goes, you should be performing at a level that is commensurate with your capabilities. Implicit in this statement is an expectation or a value judgment that if you are not performing at the expected level, then, well, you are doing something wrong. Why are you not good enough? Why are you falling short of your potential? Why are you, in a sense, devaluing yourself? Why are you depreciating yourself? So there is that. I have thought about this exhortation, like you should be doing stuff, like what it means exactly. Like I should be doing stuff on account of something that is unchangeable, immutable, something that I had no choice in, something that is not the product of my will, which is, in this case, my intelligence. So my intelligence, in this way, should, according to the exhortation, determine my choices. It should inform my value judgments. It should underpin every decision I make. And so everything I do should work towards the goal that has been, in a sense, foreshadowed, predetermined by this fact of nature, namely my intelligence. By the way, I am walking up the mountain. You may not realize it from my point of view here, but it was a steep climb already. And we will be going further up. Anyway, so there is this expectation that you should be doing what your condition renders necessary. Where necessary, though, is not an actual necessity. It is a normative necessity, where I value things a certain way, and I say that they should happen in that way. But there is nothing in the nature of things that demands as such, that forces as much. If we internalize this view, if we internalize the notion that I should be doing stuff, we, I think, fall into the trap of developing our selfhood, our self-esteem, our sense of self in light of or in juxtaposition to something that is external, namely the expectations of other people, the beliefs they have about who we are, who we should be, how close are we to our ideal, to our goal from their point of view. When we do that, we have a basic problem, which is that we do not control the opinion of other people. They may think that we are falling short of the goal, of the standard, even though in our mind we are doing well, we are content with what we have, we feel fulfilled. But in the view of other people, we are not good enough. We are a failure. Maybe we are, in their eyes, lazy or reckless or irresponsible, whatever it may be. And so, if we are always chasing this external validation, we are effectively operating on the basis of insecurity. We are standing on precarious grounds. We are building on shifting sands, as it were, because people are fickle. Their opinions change. One day they idolize you. One day you are the best thing ever, and the next day, for whatever reason, you fall from grace, and now you are a persona non grata. Nobody wants to see you. Nobody likes you anymore. And if your self-worth hinges on the vicissitudes of public opinion, then you have no self-worth. It is no auto-worth. It is not self-worth that you have yourself. It does not come from within. It is not independent. It is hetero self-worth, or external, or the self-worth coming from others. So we have, in that way, autonomy, rule by oneself, and heteronomy, written with an H in front, heteronomy, meaning rule by another. And in this case, when you are of the view that I will conform with what others are expecting, then indeed you are heteronomous. You are operating in accordance with precepts or with rules or with value judgments that you are not the formulator of, or anyway that are conceived without your participation and despite your will, despite what you want to do. So there is that. There is another side to it, though, which is the self-fulfilling prophecy. And what comes with that is inertia. Suppose you are a high performer and you are doing stuff and you are good at it. You have to be able to let go of it at some point. You have to be able to reimagine yourself, to redefine yourself, to be something more than your avatar, as it were, than this persona of yours which performs whatever it is you are performing. So you have to be able to disambiguate the two, to draw a distinction between yourself as a fully fledged, multifaceted human being and yourself as the performer, let's say the elite athlete or the philosopher, the scientist, the intellectual, whatever, right? Let's continue up the mountain, folks. So that's great. I really enjoy walking and talking. It makes it extra difficult and I really like it. On the topic of high performance, right? So let me tell you then, in this case, about inertia and the trap of, how should we say it? The trap of taking ourselves too seriously, of buying into our own narrative of believing that our persona, this external image of the performer, which is but a facet of the whole of our selfhood, that this is identical to the entirety of our selfhood. Like, what I do is all I am, that sort of thing, okay? Let me then tell you the story of Milon, the ancient Greek athlete. You may have heard the name in English Milo. So Milo is the English version of Milon, but of course I won't say Milo, come on. We Greeks are online, so when in doubt you can always contact us. We are always happy to explain how Greek words are supposed to be spelled and pronounced. So I am happy to do that. Tongue in cheek there, but anyway. Milon was an elite athlete who participated in the Olympic Games as well as in many of the other games that were taking place across the Greek world. The Greeks were big in matters of sport. They really cared about it. You also see it in their aesthetics, such as those statues, the naked bodies and so on. Anyway, Milon was elite. He was so good that he would dominate his sports for 2 decades. And he was the best of the best, okay? One day, at a relatively old age, Milon went to the forest where he encountered a tree, and he wanted to test his might. He wanted to see if he still has it in him to be the same kind of elite performer he always was. So he sees the tree and he's like, you know what? I will tear this tree apart. I will break it with my bare hands. Nothing, no tools, nothing whatsoever. I will just use my sheer strength to do what I must. So Milon sets out to do just that, and as he tries to split the tree in two, the tree snaps and he gets caught up in it. So now he is defenseless and eventually he falls prey to the wolves. And thus ends the life of Milon, the greatest Olympic athlete of the ancient Greek world. This story is probably not historical fact, but it doesn't really matter whether it's history or legend. What matters is the narrative. What matters is the morale of the story. What can we learn from this? What can we draw as inspiration, as insight, so that we too do not meet the same fate, do not end up like Milon of thinking that we still are our persona and of trying to live up to that. One second, where should we go now? Let's go this way, folks, and we continue up the mountain. So that's good. The breeze is cool. The days are still cold, but I really like it. Anyway, so Milon, what he was trying to do basically is not understand that he is more than Milon the elite athlete. That he doesn't need to continuously prove himself to himself, but also to others. That his achievements are there basically for eternity, as records, as history, as legend, and that he can move on and he can just be an ordinary man, or he can still be extraordinary, if possible, at something else. He doesn't need to be extraordinary at matters of strength, for the rest of his life. There is nothing in the nature of things, again, that forces us to do the same thing over and over and to continuously prove ourselves. And I think that fundamentally Milon, or anybody in a similar situation as Milon, suffers. Fundamentally, we suffer when we are slaves to our own choices, when the achievements of our former self, the achievements of yesteryear, condition the decisions of our present and our future selves. When our present and future selves are presented with no choice, they have no say in the matter. Imagine you would actually do that to yourself. Imagine that you would actually tie, let's say, your body to a chair so that you can have no means of changing your mind in the future and doing something else. But when you tie yourself, as it were, to activities, it's the same thing. It's past choices that you are not willing or think that you have no power over, and thus are not changing. In reality, though, we do have a choice to make. And the sign of wisdom is to be mindful of the constitution of the case. What are the prevailing conditions? Am I still the same person I used to be? Are the conditions the same they used to be? Is the interplay of the factors producing states of affairs that are the ones I was familiar with? Or has something changed? Has there been a qualitative shift? And what does this shift entail? And I think when we are mindful in this regard, when we are contemplative, and when we understand that we are not immutable, that just as the world around us changes, so do we, I think we do not fall prey to this idea that my persona, my past achievements, the person I am projecting via my accomplishments, is the person I am forced to be forever. So there is that. And I think it's really important for us to be able to think in those terms, and to be able to let go, to be able to say, you know what, I don't need to be who I was. I can be somebody different, somebody else. Prot, you are so smart. You should be doing stuff. There is, as I said, a value judgment in this. And think of it in my case, but I'm sure you can apply it to the specifics of your case as well. Like, Prot, you are so smart. Why aren't you rich? Why are you poor? What are you doing wrong? Are you lazy? Are you doing drugs? Or whatever, right? Prot, you're so smart. You should be doing stuff. So why aren't you, I don't know, a university professor teaching this stuff at the most prestigious institutions of knowledge? Again, what are you doing wrong? Are you lazy? Are you negligent? What is wrong with you? Right? And so on and so forth. You should be doing stuff. Why are you just hiking in the mountains with the dogs? You should be, I don't know, leading people or whatever, like whatever people have in mind. It's easy to heed those voices and to feel hurt. You will feel hurt because you will think that there is truth in those words. And even if in abstract these can be true, those people probably do not know you. It's very rare that somebody has advice to give, and this advice is based on an intimate understanding of your personhood, like they actually know what they are talking about. Most people who will be quick to tell you what you should be doing with your life know next to nothing about you. They judge on the basis of appearances, and they always project their own goals, their own desires, their own views, their own values, thinking that those are universal, thinking that one size fits all. And the truth of the matter is that one size does not fit all. And when we try to homogenize people, when we try to make everybody the same, we are effectively torturing people. We are effectively imposing constraints on them or goals on them that are either too small or too large, and they cannot live with them. They are not sustainable. My dog wants to go this way, but I haven't been this way. But he insists, so let's go. Why not? So here we are, folks. Maybe he knows something that I don't know. So what I was saying is that people who will give you advice, they don't know enough. And so if you are listening to each person who has advice for you, and you are taking the words at face value, and you are always doubting yourself, the truth is that you haven't quite thought what you want to do. You haven't formed an opinion yet. So you are still in the mode of seeking validation. You are still in the mode of heteronomy that I mentioned earlier. This is a steep climb, by the way, folks. And my dogs love it, of course. And I like it as well. So we continue. And being in a state of heteronomy means being in a state of fragility. In a state where when things change, your entire edifice collapses. So that's not a good idea. You want to avoid being in that situation. Let's see, where are we, folks, here? Finally, there is, oh, okay, 1 second. I think we cannot go this way, folks. It's just a vineyard. So let's go back. Let's go back, and unless we can go through this way. Let's see. Let's see. It doesn't look like it, but we continue. And we can always be back. We can always head back, rather. And so, try not to pay too much attention to what others are saying. Listen, yes, with an open mind, but ultimately be opinionated. Ultimately, stand your ground and say, you know what? I hear you, but it doesn't apply to me, either in part or in whole. I have my own ideas for my own life, and I will see where this path leads me. And so be it. And we will see what we will learn after the fact. With high performance, there is finally another trap, which is that of the thrill of the performance, where it's not a matter of selfhood anymore, but it's a matter of the stimulation. You have this a thrilling experience where you are performing and you are doing well, and you are loving every moment of it, and perhaps through doing that continuously, you get the impression that you cannot live without it. And that what is even the point of living if you don't have that? Of course, this is another way of understanding yourself in too narrow a sense, where you think you can only be but a facet of the whole. Though here the motivation or the impetus is slightly different. And for this, it's a bit more difficult to change because also of basically the physical addiction. Like, I remember when I was playing football that I would go to bed and dream of playing even more football. So it was really intense. By the way, I have to just stretch my arm a little bit because I was holding the selfie stick and I need to hold it with the other hand for a little while. So, how do we overcome this? How do we rewire ourselves so that we eventually emancipate ourselves from this need, this passionate, this burning passion to get more of that stimulus? And I think this is a matter of creating physical distance, of little by little distancing ourselves from that experience, whatever it is it may be, and try to do activities that are more slow paced and activities that are more detail rich. Slow paced may sound bad. I mean, if you are a high performer, you're like, no, I should be doing stuff, I should be elite, I cannot be slow, I cannot be lazy, I cannot be an underachiever. I must push more, I must try harder, I must go to the highest peak, kind of what I'm doing now, and push even further, and then more, and then some more. And this, if you think about it, is the story of Pyrrhus, the ancient conqueror. Pyrrhus is the historical figure from whom we get the expression Pyrrhic victory. And you can look that up. If you don't know what it is, it doesn't really matter. But Pyrrhus was an ambitious man, and we may say a charismatic leader, an excellent strategist and warlord and so on. What he lacked, though, and what was ultimately his downfall, is an answer. He could not really explain why. Why did it matter so much to pursue this thrill? The thrill of conquest, the thrill of the kill in that sense, the glory of battle. What was it? Why was he doing it? And in his discussions, Pyrrhus with his advisor, so the advisor would ask, okay, so what are we going to do next? We are going to conquer all of Greece. And after that, what are we going to do after that? Then we are going to conquer all of Italy. Fine, we will conquer all of Italy. And then we will conquer all of Europe. Fine, we will conquer all of Europe. And then, my lord, what are we going to do after we conquer the Greeks, the Italians, the Europeans? What do we do next? Then we will conquer all of Africa. Fine, we will conquer all of Africa. And then what is the end goal? And Pyrrhus said, the end goal, my friend, is for us to sit down and enjoy our wine. If Pyrrhus truly believed in those words, he would have understood that you can slow down now. You don't need to go through all that trouble of fighting your way from tiny Greece to the vast openness of Europe and Africa and then the rest of the planet. You can just slow down little by little and appreciate the little things in life, such as having a glass of wine with a friend, or going for a walk in nature, paying attention to your dogs, their behavior, all the little things that they do, sensing the breeze on your face and noticing how different it is each time of the year, each season. Viewing all the plants, now they blossom, they are in the phase of blooming and they are beautiful, but they are beautiful also in the summer and then in autumn and in the winter as well. And even though it's always beautiful, it's a different kind of beauty. A beauty that is always there, so close to you, always close, yet so far if you are not paying attention, so far, so elusive, if all that drives you is this gripping passion for that narrowly defined stimulus that you are pursuing. By disengaging, which is like what I said earlier, this idea of telling yourself that I am more than this. I am more than Pyrrhus the conqueror. I am more than Milon the Olympic athlete. I am more than, I don't know, Protesilaos the smart guy, or whatever. I am more than that. I am also an ordinary man. I am just a guy with some dogs in the mountains, enjoying my evening walk. It's the end of March. It's early spring nowadays. And I want to appreciate the moment and all those little things. Am I working towards something? The answer is nothing for which I will gain any accolades. There is nothing, like I cannot put this on a CV and apply for a high-ranking job. I cannot tell prospective employers that, hey, give me money, give me a lot of money because I walk well. Give me a lot of money because I pay attention to the trees all around. Give me money because I observe the behavior of my dogs, and so on. Like, think about it. Nobody will applaud you, in this conventional sense at least, for any of those deeds. People don't care. People won't even notice. But if you are doing them regardless, then in reality you are free from their judgment calls. You are free from their exhortations. You are free from their wants. I don't do this walk, or I don't do anything for that matter, to satisfy somebody else, to live up to the standard of another, or to live up to the standard of another who might be my past self. My current self is not my past self. It's a different person. Even if the two share many things, it's still a different person. The case is different. The constitution of the case differs. And so do all the states of affairs that are engendered therefrom. Thus, when I am operating in this state of autonomy, when I am acting out of my own accord, there is no success or failure. There is no performance to it. I cannot fail at observing the plants or around me. I cannot fail at a walk. Like, I won't lose my job because of that, because my job does not depend on that. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the idea, folks. Finally, everything that we talk about, everything that we can understand conceptually, is, in a sense, easy. It's relatively easy to think about stuff. It's really hard, though, to act out of those thoughts, to embody them, to be what you claim, to do what you think. This is really hard. But I think this is actually where you reach a state of fulfillment, where what you say is what you do. What you do is consistent with what you are claiming. And eventually you reach a point where you don't say much because you know how hard it is. You don't talk big. You don't promise the world. And you don't say, oh, I bet. No, bet what? It's not a game. You don't need to prove anything. Do it, and then you can talk about it after the fact. In the same way that I can talk about the fact that I was talking and walking up the mountain after I did it. You saw it live. But I will not take pride in it and say that Protesilos is always this. And then when one day I am no longer able to do that, I will feel that I have lost myself. Oh, I am not who I was, therefore I have lost my worth. No, I haven't. This is just nature's way of telling me that the case has changed, and so must my outlook. That's all for today, folks. It's getting colder and I will be heading back home. The dogs are always enjoying these walks, as do I, of course. Granted, in this specific walk, I was paying attention to the video, I was talking to you, but generally I observe my surroundings. I really like my mountains. You can see it's quiet here, but it's nice. It's really nice, regardless, or maybe because it is quiet, I don't know. Either way, it is okay. Thank you very much for your attention, folks. Take care and goodbye for now.